Vincent. Is that speaking to just a need on the team, or is that you feel a little bit better about the receiver depth that you can afford to give up a guy?
You know what? Those are personnel decisions that Coach Jones makes, and with our situation at corner right now, I think coaches just experiment a little and kind of put the best players on the field.
Josh Smith had obviously missed a few days with the hammy or whatever it was, and then comes right back out today and just running with the ones again. As a true freshman, I got to think he's shown something to get that kind of.
Absolutely, but here's the thing. I told him in the meeting this morning. There are no ones and twos still. He's behind because he sat out. So in order for me to make sure he's learning and getting reps, I just throw him in there to make sure he gets those first 4 reps. Has nothing to do. I told him today, that doesn't mean you're jogging out and kneeling the first day as the starting G. No, it just means I'm pouring you reps to see if you can do it. It makes no sense to me to put him at the 3 and watch him get 2 reps on practice. That's not going to see if he can help us. So that's just, Marquez the same way. Just pouring them out there, pouring the plays, see what they can handle, and then as we get closer to game time, we'll make those decisions.
I know expectations are tough for any true freshman because you never know how they're going to adjust here. But what were your expectations of Josh coming in, and what have you seen compared to that?
You know what? I didn't really know what to expect, just like I didn't know any of those guys. I hadn't been able to coach them, but I've been pleasantly surprised by Josh. Josh has got to mature off the field as far as studying his plays and getting in the film room. Typically, if you're going to be a true freshman and play, those are the things you got to really work on. But he's showing some talent. He's a tough kid. He's got some natural instincts, which I really like, which you need to have in this game. And so he was a pleasant surprise. I'm happy to have him.
Not the way Marquez bounced back a couple days last week after, I forget what practice it was last week, but there were 4 or 5 balls and routes on there. He had on the ground.
Yeah.
He just was frustrated. Y'all were getting on him. He had the false start in the team drill. He was struggling. He finally looked like a kid. And then later that day, he kind of picked it up again and he started being himself and playing better. How tough is that for a freshman to do that?
The biggest thing for a freshman is to take some deep breaths and refocus and keep going, because they just keep getting drilled from every direction as far as amount of install coaches on them. This schedule is rigorous. We have our pace is rigorous. So just being able to get him to slow it down, take a deep breath, refocus, go play the next play. And he's really done that. Saturday or whatever, I don't even know what day of the week. Whenever we just scrimmaged here a couple of days ago, I thought he really came back, took some deep breaths, worked on things like his stances and things. He's a coachable kid. And so that's what really is intriguing about him. That's why I know his game will keep getting better and better.
We've seen Butch get pretty animated before, but today it seemed like, from what we've witnessed, was a new level. You kind of need players need that shock in camp when it gets to that doldrum level, when it's a hot day, and just kind of keep them on their toes, I guess.
Yeah. I think they always need a shock. Unfortunately, I guess I'm always the same out there. Coach does a really good job of shocking them when they need it, pulling off when they need it. He's probably one of the best I've been around at what does our team need right now? They need a not literally, but they need a punch in the face a little bit, get them going, and they need you to pull off. So he's really good at that.
He talked about Saturday night about too many drops. How much is that those young guys not being able to reset, or are they overthinking in that scrimmage?
All of that. It has to do with all that. It has to do with learning how to run routes. A lot of people don't understand that dropping balls a lot of times has to do with not just eyes and hands, is your route. Marquez drops a couple balls because he has no idea how to run a route yet. So his eyes get around later than a guy that's more polished. That gives you less time to find a ball. So all those things with those young guys are coming into play, and you can see them being young and making young mistakes and not learning how to run those routes yet. When they get better and better and better, those balls will be caught.
So Jonathan Johnson's kind of asserted himself, kind of getting a lot of reps in the slot. Were you happy with him right now?
I'm very happy with Jonathan and Devrin. Both of those guys I think have really brought. Devrin's really worked his tail off and brought some good things to the table. I'm pleased with how he's playing right now. And Jonathan Johnson, I don't know what we'd do without him, just from a depth standpoint. He's a crafty player. He's a productive player. And all of those 3 guys between Pig, Devrin, and Johnson are doing a nice job complementing each other in and out of that slot.
What are the things that Big Howard's doing well?
Pig started off like gangbusters. Had a couple of bad, doldrum practices here, and then has picked it back up today. I think he just hit that middle of the camp grind. But he's just, he's being coachable. He's really trying to do the things I ask him, and I can tell by how he meets, how he comes to meetings, how he walks around the facility. He's a different kid than he was in the spring. So those things translate to the field. Now he's taking coaching on the field, whereas in the spring you really know what to expect. He was fighting a little bit. He's getting better and better.
So if you're asked this earlier, Josh Smith, what do you like about what he's shown?
Instincts. He's an instinctive player. He catches the ball. He's got a lot to work on. He's instinctual. He's tough. Those are the things I like about Josh. He's a pleasant surprise. We're happy to have him. He'll keep getting better and better, just like those other freshmen.
missing time a pretty big setback for Paul Harris right now after going through the spring and kind of.
Yeah, it is big. He needed a lot of reps. Unfortunately, he's not getting those right now, so that's a big setback.
Where's Ryan Jenkins at right now? He seems to be kind of along the lines of Jonathan Johnson getting.
Yeah, you know, Ryan's the same. Ryan's up and down, up and down, up and down. Off the field, on the field, he's up and down. He's kind of all over the place right now, which a lot of freshmen are. So we're just trying to reel him back in, get him to focus. He's a great kid, too. I tell you what, there's nobody fighting it right now. He is a yes sir, no sir kid. I mean, I can chase him up and down the field and be in his grill, telling him, yelling at him, patting him on the butt. It doesn't matter. He's always the same. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know he'll get better.
I heard him ask you the other day during a special teams drill if this is how it's going to be in a game. Are you getting a lot of those questions this year from that guy?
Yeah, they don't know. They don't know what to expect, which is a good thing. I don't want everyone to be uncomfortable.
Coach, can Dre Bones help you?
Yeah, Dre can help us. Dre's a great kid. Dre can really help us on special teams right now. I think it is one place where he's kind of showing up a little bit. As far as receiver spot, we're still waiting to see. I know what he can do from the spring. That's why these young guys are getting all the reps. I want to see what they can do now. And then as it gets closer to game time, we'll kind of sort it out a little bit.
You talked about some of the route running with him. Is it
Two more
typical
guys.
to get a freshman in that has to learn that maybe isn't quite as good a route runner as you would want at this level?
Yeah, it's typical. I teach routes a little bit different. My philosophy is a little bit different. It takes a little longer to learn. So that's why you're seeing some drop passes right now and those kinds of things. Or route technique isn't anywhere near what I want it to be. And it's not going to be as a freshman. It's going to keep getting better and better and better as the years, months, days go by.
What is different about your team?
You know, it's just like every coach, every position has a different philosophy on how they coach things. Quarterback coach, linebacker coach. I teach a different upper body, lower body, maybe techniques than other people teach. And it's a little bit harder, but I believe it's better at the end of the day. So, you know, it takes a little time, but once they get it, it's kind of time tested and true. I know it works, so I can hold it.
Zach, you talked about last week kind of worrying about your guys maybe hitting the wall. Did you sense that late last week, and maybe did it reflect on the first two-a-day when Coach Jones talked about some drop passes?
Yeah, they hit a wall. We run a lot, and I know that, and I try and pull back as much as I can, but at the same time, it's a fine line. I also need them to play. So yeah, they hit a little bit of a wall, but I got to push them through it. They got to love the grind. If I go out there and I'm dull, they're going to be dull. So that's why you don't ever see me dull out there. I'm running around all over the place, and they got to feed off me. So I try and I tell them. I told them the other day. I said, when the wall comes, you're going to run into it, or you're going to run through it. We got to run through it right now.
You him back out there. I mean, I know he's run with the ones a lot. I know you're still cycling through some guys there. But just what have you? So pleased with what you've seen from him so far, and see a guy that definitely is in the mix for
Yeah, he's definitely in the mix. Absolutely. You know, he's an instinctual player. Pleasant surprise. I'm happy with him. I'm happy to have him. He's going to be a good player here. It's not going to be right away. I'm going to keep chipping. It's not going to be tomorrow, but he's going to be good. He'll play. He'll help us this year. Yep.
What is it about him that makes him so good?
He's got instincts. He's got some things I can't teach. You know, he's got great ball skills, but he's a typical freshman. He's a little immature off the field as far as getting in that film room, taking care of his body. You know, all the things that veterans know how to do. That's what I'm teaching him yet. And I know out there in the football field, he's going to keep getting better and better and better. But he's tough too. And I know me, and I know Coach Jones in this program. You won't make it if you're not tough. And he's a tough kid. He likes it. I like that about him.
I don't know if you know what his high school offense ran, because I know you didn't recruit him. He was kind of here. But how much does that help a guy with what you guys do when everybody's spread out? It's up tempo on the high school level. Relate to what you do.
Oh, the up tempo helps a lot. It's not a complete shock for him. I mean, it's still a little bit of shock because we go really, really fast, but it's all the things in between team, the drills and all those that kill the kids when they come here for shock. But it really, really helps them as far as just the tempo, seeing signals. They're used to that already, you know. So it's not a complete, oh my gosh, what is this? So it's really helped them. Yeah.
Last thing for me, Marquez, I know he had a tough day late last week, I think it was. And how's he bounced back since then? Is he some more struggles, or is he kind of bounced back from that?
No, he's bounced back good. He's gonna be up and down. I know that. He's gonna be an up and down player right now as a freshman, but he's very coachable. He's very coachable, and that's what I like about him. So he's kind of stepped back, take some deep breaths. Okay, what do I need to work on? Just don't go out there and work on 94 things. Just go Saturday night. Just go get in a really good stance. Go to point A to point B as hard as you can go. And then we're going to move on and go to the next thing. And that's what you got to do with freshmen. It's not. I know everyone and all these fans want these guys to go out and be All-Americans right now. I'm just telling you, it's going to take some time. But press play in a year or two, and hopefully it's going to be a little bit different. Right now, you're going to see what can be, what's going to be, and then you're going to see a dip probably, and then back up. So we just got to keep focusing that way, and I got to stay positive with it.